Irving and Curry.
Yeah, so it's
Curry
crazy.
puts it up. It's goal. Kyrie Irving from downtown.
Yeah.
So second round in the playoffs have started. Going to the East first. Raptors, Sixers, Bucks and Celtics. First we'll go into Raptors and Sixers because that game, I was shocked because I thought it would have been more of a tight game. But it's like nobody could stop Kawhi on offense and he was stopping everyone on defense. So it was like, what's going on? And then he's even saying, on NBA on TNT, Chuck, Shaq, Kenny, early they're all saying Ben Simmons needs to being scared of Kawhi. Because even watch this game, it's like he was scared to dribble against Kawhi. He only attacked him when he was in transition where he's already got the kind of momentum and he's attacking.
I think it's sometimes the way Kawhi defends. Like, he knows he should not be giving Simmons space because he has space he can drive onto you, that it's hard to maybe stop him. But in my opinion, the person that has to step up against Kawhi is Butler, because I've obviously, as a Bulls fan, I've seen the way Butler grew up and to become the player he is now. And when he was in Chicago, he would go toe to toe with Kawhi like it's nothing. Obviously, I know Kawhi's improved, but so has Butler. So in this series, he has to take charge and be like, yo, I'm gonna go up against this guy. Because in my opinion, I used to say back in the day, Butler's better. But right now, I admit Kawhi's a better player than Butler. But he still has the ability and the defensive mindset to stop and actually say, no, I can go up against this guy. Because in my opinion, that was a good acquisition by Philly. He has to take charge and say, no, I'm gonna stop this guy, because he has the ability to. He just has to do it.
Yeah, that's it. Like, even the way the Raptors actually match up against the Sixers is very well. Like, you've got Kawhi. Forget about Larry and Redick, or even just not even Redick, but Larry. He's basically he's like the one out there. Yeah. But then you got Kawhi on Simmons, you got Pascal on Tobias,
you got
Danny Green,
you got Gasol on
Embiid, and Green on Butler. And it's like Butler struggled a bit against Danny Green.
You have to remember Danny Green.
That's the thing.
He's a very good perimeter defender.
Yeah. Very good. And I forgot that at one point because obviously I remember him in the Spurs that he was always great perimeter. When I saw it again, I was like, this is actually going to be a 6 series. But it's not, because even when people say, oh, Joel Embiid's going to put against Marc Gasol, Joel Embiid has not scored more than 16 points.
You have to remember Marc Gasol was a defensive player.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. People overlook, people like,
he's just a slow, unathletic Spanish guy. He's been a defensive player the year before. You have to remember that.
Embiid couldn't take, I know Embiid can still kind of get his way because he doesn't just play, he's starting to play back to the basket, but he can also face up as well. Yeah. That's going to be an advantage. But Marc Gasol is a very good matchup.
He's an all-star centre when he's fully healthy. He's an all-star centre. People have to getting that. But Valentina says, let's be real, was a failed project.
Yeah.
They drafting was a failed project, but to get Marc Gasol out of that, a guy that was in 2014-15 when it was that good Memphis team with Mike Conley and all that, Tony Allen. He was an MVP race till January, remember? So
he was excellent.
So people have to remember that and put some respect in him, because he's a top draw player when he's fully healthy. Let's be real.
They've got a better team than they had last year, and I think the trades have.
Yeah. I'm not sure how. I think, in my opinion, they just traded the wrong guard away. I was saying that because DeRozan he turned away to go to LA, and that still just that will never sit well with me. Like, people don't talk about it as much with that. Them Boston traded away as well. That was a low blow to DeRozan. He signed a new contract and literally 9 months later he traded him. That's mad.
He fully could have gone.
They even said to him that you're not going to be traded.
Yeah, they said that. They lied to his face. That's why it was slapped in the face. But at least they traded him to a decent franchise, so it was good for him.
But I don't even know who I see winning this series. It's just because
I said Philly in 7. I've said Philly in 7. I'm sticking by that.
I feel like the Raptors would kind of get. I thought the Raptors might take it. Maybe not. It's just early because
maybe Kawhi's experience.
Yeah, and it's just one of those where against the Nets, they had their way, because when you realise that the matchup, they were bigger than everyone.
Yeah.
But now the reason what makes it hard is it's hard for Tobias Harris now to go off because you've got Pascal Siakam who's taller, he's longer, and he's very good defending.
He's an athletic
so
player.
he can close you out and he can still recover in time if you're driving in. So that's going to cause Tobias Harris problems. Obviously, Embiid and Gasol, I think that's just going to be like a neutral battle, like whoever gets their way or facilitates more.
But if Embiid wants to be known as one of the greatest, like he has to step up in this game. Like remember Hakeem in 1995, he did his thing against Robertson, so he has to like show up and say, no, I'm a better centre than you. I'm going to show up.
Everyone talks about the Philly thing being the process, all of that, the project.
No, the process has to come out now because they've got 4 All-Stars in the team.
There's no excuse.
That's the thing. There's no excuse
now. The process. Last year, okay, cool, we allow it. Come on, not this year.
Honestly, like
not this year.
But I feel like even just throughout this whole series, Kawhi is gonna still have the same production. I'm not saying he's gonna get 45 points every single game, but he's going to get. He's gonna get because I don't see anyone shutting down Kawhi.
But I've seen Butler do it before. That's the thing.
But the thing is, I feel like
he has to step up.
They'll slow him down, but it's not like it's gonna be like. It's gonna be like a KD. Like he can go off, but they have to shut down the rest of the team.
That's the thing. Like, Pascal Siakam can't be getting 20. I think he got 26.
And he was. The thing is,
you can't be there.
He was Tobias guarded a minute.
Yeah, he came into the league as an energizer. So
he's a good player, really good. Really he's improved a lot.
Yeah, he came into the league as an energizer. He shouldn't be allowed that to happen.
Yeah, don't give him 26 points in the big playoff semi-final game.
He will probably still because he's kind of bullying Tobias. I'm not gonna lie.
That's what I mean. They've got to make sure. I think Tobias one has to step up, and 2, because Kawhi is the threat. Put Jimmy Butler in him, and then. If you're gonna put Siakam, put him.
Jimmy Butler
they've got
quite a lot, yeah, and he just put him in his back pocket.
Yeah, but the thing is,
it was just. But the thing is, it's not even like it was easy. Jimmy Butler was actually doing good defense, but better offense.
But sometimes a player can go off on a night like that. But let's see, maybe in the coming games, let's see if he keeps the hot hand. Because I've seen Butler go on and have like some games where he's gone 45. I remember. There was one game, it was early January 2015-16, his last full season with us, I think I remember. I think his last full season with Derrick Rose, not the one with Dwayne Wade and Rondo. It was one game at Toronto, I think it was early January, and he was just hitting every single shot. He got like 45, and he literally carried that Bulls team to the win.
I remember that game.
Yeah, and he was literally incredible, like incredible. And I think that was a run where we didn't lose on TNT or something like that. So
do you know what it is as well?
He's a player that can like step up at any moment.
It is, but the situation is that he's in as well makes it a bit harder
because he doesn't feel like the main man
because he's all going around Joel Embiid. No, that's it. Because to that franchise, he's their best player.
Yeah.
So it's all going around.
Simmons does play for him,
and then Simmons does do a lot of the ball handling.
Yeah.
Because that's his strength. Because
it's a weird fit because
play off the ball.
Butler, since 2014-15, he's become a star. Since he's become a guy that can dribble the ball up the court and create his own shot, he's most of the time had the ball. When he was with us, it was either him or Rose on the ball. Like so now, when he's got Tobias Harris, I've seen Tobias Harris bring up the ball. Then I've got TJ McConnell off the bench bringing up the ball. There's loads of guys that can actually do that. So it's difficult for him to like try to integrate himself in the offense and get his own shot off. So I'm happy it's a bit of a weird fit, but I think it can work.
At the same time, there is also no excuse because if the Celtics, how low they can still be even, I don't see why the Sixers can't either.
It's a good matchup. I think it's a good.
Well, you're talking about why the Celtics can't like.
No, because if the Celtics can, because they can still play together.
But that's different. Celtics had players like 2 rookies that came together. Tatum was a rookie. Tatum's his second year, I think. Jaylen Brown's in his third, if I remember. Yeah, I think he's in his third. They've got all these young players, and Al Horford is he's a guy that he's 32. A centre, he doesn't really command many shots, does he? He's just a guy that when his shots open or there's a guy is a mismatch, he'll take it. But he's not a guy that demands the ball. Embiid would demand the ball. Simmons, he's a guy that loves the pass, but he wants to get points to the board.
Yeah.
Butler's a guy that likes to shoot. And Tobias Harris, everyone knows his best attribute is he's a class scorer. So it's different when it's like Jaylen Brown only like recently starting to like create his own shot. So it's different when you're a rookie and then you've got established stars on your team. Yeah, so that's why it's different from Philly and Boston. You can't really make that comparison.
It's true, but yeah, I think that in this series, if the Sixers do want to be successful, it doesn't only come down to Jimmy Butler, but it also comes down to Simmons, because if your main facilitator, because the best facilitator on the team. Like, even though obviously everyone else, like, no disrespect to anyone else, but that is his game, playmaking.
Yeah, he's the point guard. He's the key.
If he's not flowing, or if like Kawhi's in his head mentally and just all of it, he's gonna make it harder. But then that's when obviously other players gonna. I mean, Jimmy's gonna have to be more facilitator as well and create a shot. But if you do that, what is Simmons going to do? Because if you really notice and you watch it when Simmons doesn't have the ball, just watch what he does. He's usually standing next, like literally next to the rim, just on the outside of the 3-second zone. Just stood there or just walking up and down there, just hoping for a rebound but it's like off the ball. If you're not a threat off the ball, you can't make certain movements. It's not going to work to your favour. Because literally, I started even watching all the against the Nets as well and everything. When Simmons don't have the ball, he's literally in that same position, even on the right side, left side, near the post, and he's like, run round, cut in, come out. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not saying obviously you burst all your energy all the time, but still make a little bit of movement. Because if you just stood there stagnant, and the reason why it's bad as well because they know that Simmons from the outside, he's not really going to shoot and everything, or he's not going to do much. That then allows Kawhi to help on other possessions. Yeah. If Joel Embiid is kind of got through now, that's him there, or Tobias.
I think that comes down to the lineup they select and the key. Like, if you are gonna have that, you can't be surrounding Ben Simmons around players that are similar to him. If you are gonna have that, try and have a couple shooters on the court. Make them think.
Tobias Harris can play a role as a slot shooter. And the thing is, you're forgetting that they've got JJ Redick, who's basically he made his whole career out of spot up shooting. So
they've got two,
that.
And even Jimmy Butler can still.
Simmons was it game 4? Was it game 3? Against the Nets, like that, in my opinion, that's his best playoff performance. Like in his first 2 years as making it to the playoff. Like we got, I think it was 31 and 10, something like that.
Yeah.
Like he has to be aggressive because he's got the talent. I've said it for the time. In my opinion, he's the guy that's closer to LeBron. Don't talk to me about Zion. He's just literally a showman. In terms of style and the way he plays and the way he drives to the basket, Simmons is the closest thing I've ever seen to LeBron. So he has to be aggressive because he's got the talent. He just has to put it on the court.
Cool, that's it.
Look, check it, and I don't need motivation. Me, I had that when I was stuck up in a station. Started off with nothing, why would I just get complacent?